hey, you must be million from me father. Man was a woman of the law, not a father. Go from the line, don't check out the father. Try find a job, not woman, not a brother, me rather. One up me girl in a alada. And me at a bag of man a rope in a Prada. My lead get a sweet and a niche at a mother. You can up to me and a girl in the car, not the car.
Good morning, folks. Welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Get things going. Good to have you with us on a Saturday morning. This is our weekly Saturday morning just training for brand new distributors. And I know that some of you have been wondering what I listen to when I get myself ready to get going. Today it was DeMarco, D-E-M-A-R-C-O. So that's just a little insight into what I do to get myself prepped for Saturday morning new distributor training. Want to welcome you. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with ZJ International. And hopefully you're seeing this live. I will be posting this to my YouTube channel. youtube.com/Fred Holmes ZJ. For those of you that want to share this down the road with one of your new distributors, there's a number of presentations and trainings that are available on that YouTube channel. And I'm just kind of getting myself focused and organized here. Let's see, who do we have with us? Oh my goodness, very, very good. Good to see you, Dee Dee. We have Colorado Nicole and Jr. Good to see you. Let's see here. Who else do I recognize? This is actually quite good. There's a lot of you that I don't recognize, so that's a good indicator that we're getting the message out for brand new distributors to partake in this. What we're going to do this morning is a couple of things, and we're going to be pretty brief with this. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. I encourage you, grab your journal, grab your notepad, what have you, so that you can take notes. This morning, focus is going to be on actually a little bit of history, a history lesson. A little over 30 years ago, I was a cross-country truck driver. And I left that profession, not because I didn't like driving trucks. I love driving trucks. But a little over 30 years ago, my son was hitting school age, had some educational challenges, and I found myself in a position that if I was going to do everything that I was supposed to do to help my son achieve everything that he could achieve, I was going to be responsible for providing specialized educational resources. They were going to be very expensive, but I also needed more time freedom than a truck driver has. And this industry, this profession of network marketing, fulfilled on all of those promises. It gave me an opportunity not only to have time freedom, to be with him when I desired to be with him, which was, of course, all the time, but I mean, you know, more so than what most parents have, to be able to see their child for a little bit of dinner or something like that, to be there all day long with him, to be able to work a business that created a significantly above average income, and to do it on my schedule, to do it when I chose to do it. And this training that I'm going to share with you, this was something that was taught to me very, very early on in my career. It was called the Saturday Morning New Distributor Training. And really all I've done over the years is taken that initial training when I sat in a little office on a Saturday morning with my notebook, and I've shared this with others, okay? And what was taught to me back then, if I learned how to do this and I shared this with others, I could participate in this profession of network marketing. If I did a little bit of what I'm going to teach you, I could make some money. If I did a little bit more for a little bit longer period of time, I could make more money. And the great promise was, if I did a lot of this long enough, I could get rich. And what I can share with you is that the only things that I brought to the table, the only skill sets, if you will, were all that's necessary to be successful in our profession of network marketing. I was always a hard worker. I had good work ethics. I was very coachable in the beginning because I knew that I didn't know how to do this. So all I was interested in was learning how to do this. And then thirdly, I had a burning desire to succeed. There was nothing more important to me than being able to provide for my son. And I share that with you because so often I get those questions. I'm concerned. I don't have a professional background or a sales background, or I don't have a lot of contacts, or whatever the perceived challenges or obstacles to success might be. And this is what I can tell you, and it's from my own personal experience. If you are willing to work, if you're willing to learn, and you have a desire to succeed, that is all that's necessary to be successful in our profession. See, in my humble opinion, network marketing is the average person's best chance to create financial security, to then maybe go beyond that and create financial prosperity. And for those of you that truly want to take advantage of what ZJ International is offering today, to be able to go even beyond that and provide financial abundance, where your resources, your financial resources, your time resources go beyond what you need and actually allow you to give to many, many others. And so what I want to do right now is I'm going to share with you this little outline that I received 30 plus years ago. All I really did is tweak it a little bit for my second company. Some of you know the story. I spent 2 years with my first company, great company, bad timing, chance to be in before the masses had already come and gone. Hit a second company. Quite frankly, the products of that company weren't as good. The corporate leadership wasn't as good, but I had great timing with that company. I got in before the masses and retired 8 years later. 10 years in this profession, and allowed me to retire at an age that was, be probably 20 years before most fellows think about retiring. And when I came out of retirement for ZJ International, all I did was take this simple little training, tweak it a little bit for ZJ, and that's what's created today, a multiple seven-figure earnings in a relatively short period of time with this company. So hopefully that has caused you to be intrigued enough to actually sit down and write this down. My focus this morning is the two main questions that people have when they get involved in a business like ours. What is it that we do, and how do we do it? And the good news is this is a very simple process. It's a simple system, which is, by the way, the key to a successful business is a simple system, a simple process, something that can be duplicated by the masses. So 3 things you want to write in your notes. Let's talk about first, what do we do in network marketing? What do we do as a ZJ distributor? Number 1, we share our products. We share our products so that we can acquire customers. That's what we do. We build a customer base. Number 2, we share our income opportunity so that we can attract other like-minded people who are interested in creating, an ongoing income stream, something that they can do on a part-time basis without interfering with their life. What that does, by incorporating other distributors into our organization, it gives us leverage. You can go out and, for instance, get 10 customers, okay? How long will it take to get 10 customers? It depends on how many people you're going to talk to. Now, you could get 100 customers doing the same thing, sharing our products, but it's going to take you 10 times as long to get 100 customers as it was to get 10 customers. Here was what I was taught. Go get 10 customers, but then go out and share your income opportunity with 10 people. Have 10 people join you and teach them how to get 10 customers, and now all of a sudden you have over 100 customers that are part of your ongoing residual income stream. And one more thing, and this is the third thing we do. We share the product that acquires customers. We share the income opportunity that acquires distributors. The final thing that we do is we teach others to do the same. Teach others to share the product, teach others to share the income opportunity. And this was what made so much sense to me. If I get 10 customers, I'll make some money. If I get 10 distributors and teach them how to get 10 customers, I'm going to make more money. But the magic happens is when I can teach others to do the same. Teach 10 distributors how to get 10 distributors and how they can get 10 customers. And now I have 1,000 consumers that I am overriding on the monthly sales of the products. And folks, if this seems kind of simplistic, it is. It's a very simple system. The hardest part of network marketing has always been finding the right company with the right experience and track record at the corporate level, the right kinds of products that create true customer loyalty and ongoing residual income stream, and to get with that company at the right point in time in their growth curve. That has always been the hardest part of what it is we do. And I can share with you right now, Zege International is in that sweet spot, that point in time where they have established themselves as a significant player within the network marketing industry. However, they're literally a very small dot on the radar screen, an opportunity to be in before the masses in a company that is destined to become a $1 billion a year company. All of the needed structures in place. I've got some exciting information that I just got off the once a period Diamond Club call. I'll be sharing that for our team members here a little bit later in the morning. You're going to want to partake in that broadcast as well. So what is it that we do? We share the product to acquire customers. We share the opportunity to acquire distributors. And then number 3, we teach others how to do that for the development of a large self-duplicating distribution organization. Now let's break it down a little bit. How do we share the product? This is the fun part. It is so simple. Number 1, use the product. That's the critical element in success in a network marketing venture. It's not learning about all the ingredients. It's not becoming an expert on essential oils or whatever. It's sharing or using the product so you have a personal experience of the product, because, and you can write this down in your notes, people communicate with feelings, not with words. You can be talking about how great a product is, and you may have all the product knowledge in the world. You're going to have to be an excellent salesperson to make sales. Whereas the average person who's experiencing the product is getting great results and sharing their story, that person will be much more successful for a number of reasons. But the biggest one is people will sense the authenticity of your personal story. So number 1, use the products. Number 2, talk to people. Now that may seem kind of simplistic, or kind of one of your duh Fred moments, but you're gonna have to talk to people. This is a people-to-people business, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more in a moment about how the understanding of how to talk to people. And then finally, when you're talking with people, what are you to do? You're going to share the stories. Share the stories of what happens with people that get on our products. Share your own personal story. Share the stories of others. Some of you might have been on the Biz Talks with Fred broadcast Thursday night. We had Carla Bishop sharing a truly, nothing less than miraculous changes that happen in the health of her young son because of the use of our core Moringa products. And that has generated so much interest over, social media here in 48 hours, actually not even 48 hours, because people recognized what the boys' challenge was, and they know so many people that have the same, health challenges, and they're wanting to get more information about how Moringa can help that. So how do you share our products? How do you create customers? Number 1, use the products. Number 2, talk to people. Number 3, when you're talking with people, don't worry about the ingredients. Don't worry about all the technical data. Share the stories. Share your story and the story of others and what's happened with them on the Zege products. Now, what's the second thing we do? We share our income opportunity. That's so we can develop other distributors to expand our potential consumer base. How do you share our income opportunity? Number 1, write this in your notes. You're going to want to use the products. Okay, the products are the foundation of Zege International. If we didn't have such a significant product offering, we wouldn't have the significant income opportunity we have. And so the first step in sharing our income opportunity is to become a product of the product. I'll use my personal example. When I first started with Zija, I was, I've always been a pretty good eater, healthy eater. At the time I started with Zija, I was spending probably $300, maybe $400 a month on nutritional supplements, high quality, natural nutritional supplements. Yet at that point in time in my life, as tall as I am now, 6'1", I was close to 200 pounds. Today, after using Zija products, I am literally at the weight I was in my early 20s. I am in the same, same body fat, same BMI as I was in my early 20s. That's 40 years ago. Okay, I am a product of the products. So first step in sharing the income opportunity is to use our products, become a product of the products. Number two, you're going to talk to people. Again, nobody is going to track you down, seek you out, and ask if you have an income opportunity for them. You're going to have to share this with people. And then finally, the third ingredient is to share the stories of what happens with people that get involved in our business. Share your personal story and the stories of others. And it sounds like that's identical to sharing the product to acquire customers, and it is. It's a simple system. Now, the last thing we want to do is talk about teaching others. And I'm going to speak to this in a moment, but what's most important is for you to have a simple system, something that is simple enough that it can be taught to the average person, simple enough the average person can learn it. And the magic takes place is if it's a simple system, the average person can teach others and create duplication. Too often we try to complicate this, and I understand why that is. It's very difficult to understand how, a guy like me, previous career as a cross-country truck driver, can learn a simple system, and today, on a part-time basis, working from home, create an income that surpasses all but 1% of the income earners in the country. It's amazing to me that I think what happens is people spend, decades in education, 12 years of high school, another 4 years of college, maybe another 4 years of postgraduate work, for instance, to become a doctor, all right? And then you got several years of internship and so on and so forth to make, $100,000, $200,000 a year. Doesn't it seem like to be able to make twice that amount or 3 times that amount, it's got to be 2 or 3 times as hard and 2 or 3 times as complicated? Common sense says yes. However, as I said just a few moments ago, network marketing is the average person's best opportunity to create true financial independence. Now, I'm going to break this down a little bit so that we get the details, if you will. Step one, which was use the products. Here's my suggestion. Use all the products all the time. If you understand that it's your personal experience on the products that's going to generate potential customers, document the value of our income opportunity, you're going to want to use all the products all the time. The products that you personally use will be the products that you sell. Now, let's be realistic. Zija International, when I started, we had one product. That was it, our Moringa drink in a can. That was it. That's the only product we had. Well, today we've got 4 different product divisions, multiple products within those divisions. We've got consumer products now, some of which I'm going to share on the team call, the upcoming new product introductions that will happen here in about a week and a half. It's probably not realistic for the brand new person to try and use all the products all the time. I'll tell you what I did in my very first company. I used as many of the products as I could afford to use. And then as my income increased, I started to increase the number of products that I used. But for today, understand this concept. The products that you use will be the products that you sell. So use all the products, all the time, or as many as you can. Number two, talking to people. Now, here's the part that most people don't get. The novice or new network marketer generally thinks in terms of talking to people they know. They may generate, a handful, a dozen, maybe even 24 names of people they know. That's because the average or novice network marketer doesn't approach this like a professional. Let me tell you what professionals do. When they create a list of people to talk to, that initial contact base, they use a tool. It's called a memory jogger. Okay, now some of you have been using a memory jogger. It's simply a little paper and pencil tool that has, maybe 200 different types of people that everybody knows. See, we already learned this. The average person, by the time they hit their, mid-20s or 30s, they know at least 200 to 300 people by name. The challenge is you can't typically recall all those names immediately unless you use a tool. Now, I'm not going to go into the use of a memory jogger right now. I'll simply tell you I've done a training. I've done a training on how to use a memory jogger. You'll find it on my YouTube channel. Again, www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. Just search for it. It's, the list. That's the title of the training. I go into more depth there. The key is to not prejudge, to sit down, commit names to paper, ink to paper. Don't prejudge who'd be interested in your product. Don't prejudge who would be interested in your income opportunity. That's not your job. Your job is to share the story. And if you understand this is going to solve a lot of problems for you. If you had products that could enhance and benefit every single person that used them, why would you not want to share that with people that you know and care about? Okay, don't worry about whether they're interested or not. That's not your job. Okay, but why wouldn't you want to share it with people that you know? When it comes to our income opportunity, of all the people that you know, which of your closest friends, family members would you not want to be successful and prosperous? See, some people go, well, I'm afraid to talk to people I know. What are they going to think? Trust me, whatever they think about you, they already think about you. Okay? Sharing an opportunity with them is not going to change their opinion of you. I have to tell you that. Sometimes we have to just get over ourselves. So you want to create a list. That's the first step, to talk to people. Jim Rohn said this many years ago, and it's something that's stuck in my head ever since. The most important thing is to have a good story to tell. Okay, and we have a tremendous story to tell. We have a story to tell of the products and what happens if people get on our products. The stories of people that get involved in our business and the life-changing things that have happened to them. I mean, I think about so many of our team members. Amy McKenzie. Many of you know Amy McKenzie. Single mom, had a brilliant, genius-level daughter that deserved to have an excellent education, and as a single mom, Amy was not going to be able to pay for that education. She became a Zija independent distributor. She has learned this system. She has built a tremendous organization that is now international, and her daughter graduated, and I'm not going to use the term because I'm not sure I remember the term, but big shot, top of the class, one of the most, if not the most expensive private university in the country, and that has opened up so many doors to her for her career. Today, Amy McKenzie drives a Mercedes paid for by the company. She's one of the most, well-known trainers and speakers in Zija. And where would she have gone if it hadn't been for the Zija income opportunity? Now, the stories of what happens to people is what we want to share. But again, the first step is to have a good story. Second, to learn how to tell that story well. And here's where the magic takes place. If you share a good story often enough, it'll eventually fall on the right ears. And that's just an understanding of how things work in the universe. If you have good stories, if you learn how to tell them well, they will, and you share it often enough, you'll find the people you're looking for. Okay, and most often they're not the people that you know, but they're the people that somebody that you know they knew. Okay, so it's always somebody else's contacts. So create a list so you can have people to talk with. Then the next step, of course, is to talk to the people. There's a system to doing this. As a matter of fact, this system is part of a training that myself and Phil Jacobson will be doing at the upcoming convention. So I encourage you to, join us during that breakout session. But in its simplest form, here's the system. It's a 3-step system. Number one, step one, you're going to want to invite people to hear your story. Invite people to learn about your products or learn about your business. That's the first step. Now, that's the step that you do. Okay, as a new distributor, that's what your responsibility is. It's the talk to people part. I also, online there at the YouTube channel, you'll find more information, more in depth on how to follow the system. But the first step is the invitation. That's what you do. Second step is the information, or if you will, the presentation that you're offering people to hear. It's important to understand that that's not your responsibility. You want to use tools for doing the presentation. Third step is validation. Somebody besides yourself documenting the value or benefits of our product, documenting the potential of our income opportunity. 3-step system: invitation, that's what you do; presentation, that's what the tools do; validation, that's what the other person does. In most cases, this will be one of your active upline support team members. Now, break that down a little bit more. The invitation. Sophisticated network marketers understand that the prospect, whether it be the customer or potential distributor, the most important thing to them is not what we think, but rather what they need. This is why we like to work with people that we know, because we have a better chance of being able to frame up that invitation in a way that's relevant to them. So when you're inviting somebody, whether it be to look at the products or look at the opportunity, put that invitation in a format that's relevant to them, something that they would be interested in. Okay, so for instance, if I'm talking to, maybe a young couple, got one child, second child's on the way, both parents are working. One of the things that I don't even have to think about is to know that they would like to have a way to create an additional income stream that might be able to replace one of the parents' income. That way one of the parents, typically the mom, but maybe the dad, can stay home and raise the kids. Who wouldn't want to have a more traditional family environment? And see, that's what I'm going to be talking to them about. I'm not going to talk about making millions of dollars. I'm going to talk about replacing a full-time income. And you need to recognize, in today's world, you don't have to talk to people about making millions of dollars. Is that possible? Of course it is. I mean, I'm living proof of that. But let me tell you, if you want to be successful in developing new distributors, here's what you want to talk about. 80% of the people that you'll ever bring into your Zija business will join for something as simple as making an extra $200 or $300 a week, an extra $1,000 a month. An extra $1,000 a month would change the lives of the vast majority of families in North America today. $1,000 a month. And so if you frame up your invitation in a fashion that's meaningful to somebody, they're a whole lot more likely to say, I would like to learn more about that. And that's where you get to step 2, the presentation. Now, it's important to understand you can't do that part. You can't talk about, the information regarding the products or the company story, the opportunity story. You can't do that. You have to use tools. We have lots of tools. We have DVDs, we have CDs, we have online live presentations. Wednesday evening, many of you are plugging into the Health Talks with Pat Anderson to share the information on the product. A lot of you are plugging into my broadcast on Thursday evenings, Biz Talks with Fred Holmes, to share the income opportunity. What's important to understand is the tools will always do a better job than you. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do a great job of presenting. What I'm going to tell you is if you don't use the tools to do that second step, the presentation, then it's going to be based upon you. And one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to be too good or you're going to be too bad at doing the presentation. It's just real simple. That's the only possibility. If you are not good at doing the presentation, if you're too bad, people aren't going to get the picture. Okay, they're not going to see what the value of our products and the value of our opportunity is. Here's the alternative. You're going to be too good. You may be very effective at sharing the information on the product or sharing the information on the income opportunity. The problem with that is that the vast majority of people you talk to will say something like, oh, that seems like such a great opportunity. I really wish I could participate in that, but I'll never be as good a presenter as she was or he was, and I don't think I can do this. You're either going to be too good or too bad. That's why we use tools. For what, number one, tools do the same thing every time. Okay? Tools never have a bad day. Tools are never tired. They're always going to be a great presentation. Number two, they are duplicatable by the masses. You want to be in a position where your prospect, and here I'm going to talk about the income opportunity, the prospect saying in their mind, you know, this looks great. It looks like something I can do, and it's independent of whether or not you did a good job. You know, you want to be able to follow through with that three-step system, the third step having third-party validation. Why do we need third-party validation? If one person says this is a great product or a great opportunity, that is the individual's opinion. When you have two or more people saying the same thing, that whole concept moves from opinion to fact. One person saying it's an opinion, two or more people saying it, it now becomes a fact. This is why this three-step system is so important. The invitation, you do that. Make it meaningful to the individual. Second step, present them with information, but use tools. And the third step, third-party validation, have somebody, typically somebody within your upline support team, somebody that's got a story, share the information. They're going to be more experienced at handling objections, answering questions, and they can document that the products work or the income opportunity works. This is a critical, and what's so cool about this is anybody can do it. See, what you really want is for your best business prospect to say, well, you know, this looks pretty simple. You know, all Fred did is he offered me an opportunity to see something that could meet my financial needs. I watched that little video and they put me on the line with David Moses or whatever, who's already done it. And that person will work with me. See, in the beginning, if you don't have a story, you can do all the information and it's simply a theory. What you'll find is that the people with the ears to hear, the eyes to see, those that are looking for us, they're likely to say something like, well, Mary or Jim, that really sounds like a great opportunity. Let me know how it works for you. Because until you have a story, it's all theory. When you put your upline on the phone, when you put your upline on a video conference, it's no longer a theory. It is a fact. And what's more important to understand is that your prospect will be excited to join you if they know there are other people who have already done this, who are there to help support their efforts. So, use the product, talk to people, share the stories. More in depth, use all the products all the time, or as many as you can, as often as you can. Create a list. So you'll have a list of people to talk to. Use a tool. Use a memory jogger. You'll find them on the internet. Your upline diamond has a memory jogger. You can reach out to me if you want. I have a memory jogger that I use. I'd be happy to share it with you. When it's time to talk to people, do the three-step system. Invitation, invite them to take a look. at something that meets their needs. Use tools to do your presentation. Use an upline to do third-party validation. Now, I've got two more things I want to cover real quick, and this is something that has been very, very effective at helping me build my business. Understand that not every single person you're going to talk to is going to be open immediately to what you're sharing. Okay, people have in their own mind their own knowledge. You have to understand everybody's an expert on everything. Okay, everybody's an expert on nutrition because we all eat, right? So therefore we're an expert on nutrition. Everybody's an expert on how to generate income because everybody works for a living, right? Everybody is. We have to appreciate the fact that most people's knowledge is nothing more than 90% their opinion based on 10% fact. Write this in your notes. 90% opinion, 10% fact. That's what most people's knowledge is. And if you understand this foundation, what most people believe to be true, unfortunately, is 90% their opinion, 10% fact. You will never convince somebody that what they believe to be true is incorrect. You'll never do that with facts. Okay, it's just not going to happen because only 10% of what their belief is based on facts. I'll give you some examples. When it comes to our products, oh, you don't need to take vitamins and supplements if you just eat healthy. Okay, well, you could take a lot of time explaining to them that the degradation of today's food chains with mechanized farming and so on and so forth, depletion of the nutrients from the soil, most of what we eat today, even if you try to eat healthy, has a very small percentage of the nutrition in it that we used to get out of fruits, vegetables, what have you, 100 years ago. Okay, but you got to understand the facts will never change their opinion or their knowledge, because most of what they know is based upon opinion. Same thing with the income opportunity. How about this one? Oh, multi-level, those things don't work. Okay, well, 90% opinion, 10% fact. Okay, you cannot change their opinion of the network marketing profession by sharing with them that network marketing sales is, it's bigger than, the pharmaceutical industry, bigger than the NFL, bigger than any industry out there. Okay, it is. You can tell them that, over 80% of the self-made millionaires in the world did so through network marketing. Something like 90% of the women in North America that make over $100,000 a year do so through network marketing. Okay, all the facts in the world will not convince somebody. So if you understand that, then this will be extremely helpful to you. I was taught a simple little response. You can write this in your notes to respond to those kinds of objections. The most effective way is to use this phrase. I don't know about that. All I know is, and tell a story. Okay, so you don't need nutritional supplements if you eat healthy. Well, I don't know about that. All I know is I was eating very healthy and until I started using Zija, and today I weigh 35 pounds less than I did before Zija. And I have more lean muscle mass and I feel better than I did 40 years ago. Okay, I don't know about that. All I know is, okay, how about this one? And then this is actually true life, my wife's got rheumatoid arthritis and she only does what the doctor tells her. Okay, no nutritional supplement's going to make any change. Well, I don't know about that. All I know is I have a friend with a similar situation, and since he's been using Zija Moringa, his doctor's taken him off of all but one of his medications, and he's down to a quarter of that medication, and he's back to walking and going upstairs. Okay, I don't know about that. All I know is a story. About this one, network marketing. Okay, network marketing. Those things don't work. I don't know about that. All I know is I'm working with a gal named Dee Dee Shaw. She's a stay-at-home mom, homeschools her children, has created a six-figure income working part-time from home. I don't know about that. All I know is I'm working with a guy named Fred Holmes. Used to be a cross-country truck driver, does this part-time from home because he cares for his elderly mother, and he's made millions. I don't know about that. All I know is a story. Because see, you'll never convince somebody against their will with facts, but they cannot debate the story. Okay? They cannot debate the story. And all we're interested in is sharing a good story, learning how to tell it well, and if we share this story often enough, it'll eventually fall on the right ears. Now, I'm going to do one last thing, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Write in your notes, concepts versus techniques. Concepts versus techniques. See, my focus, and it's always been my focus because this is what I was taught over 30 years ago. I'm just sharing with you the notes that from my first Saturday morning training for new distributors. Concepts versus techniques. I share concepts. I teach concepts because concepts, true concepts, will remain constant over time. Okay, a valid concept today is a valid concept a year ago, 10 years ago, a decade, whatever. All right, techniques, they're going to change over time. Techniques are going to change based upon, geography, technology, personal skills. Everybody wants the technique. Here's the technique. Where do you go? What do you say? Who do you talk to? What do you do? Everybody wants to know the technique. What I'm telling you is don't get too hung up teaching techniques. Focus on teaching the concepts. True concepts will remain constant over time. What you've seen so far over the last several minutes that I've been speaking with you, these are concepts. They will remain constant. These are concepts that were taught to me over 30 years ago by a gentleman who had these concepts taught with him almost 30 years before that. Okay, so the profession of network marketing has been around for going on 70 years now. This business is a tried and proven vehicle for creating financial security, financial prosperity, and if you do enough of it, financial abundance. Now, why do I not teach techniques? Real simple. They're not duplicatable by everybody. Okay, where do you go? What do you say? Who do you talk to? What do you do? All right, those are techniques. If everybody had to do it just one way, we would eliminate so many people. I teach concepts because concepts are duplicatable by the masses. And our business is not a business of a handful of people doing spectacular things, but many, many people doing a little. Today, there are thousands and thousands of people that use our Moringa-based products from ZJ International that make up my long-term residual income. There isn't a single distributor within my organization that does exactly what I do, because what I do is not duplicatable by the masses. For instance, I have to work from home. Okay, this is just especially this past year. It's very difficult for me to get out of the house. If I, if I made that the issue, then there'd be a lot of people that couldn't do this because they have to be out of the house. They have to work. Focus on concepts. Techniques are not duplicatable by the masses. Now, does that mean that each one of us doesn't have a particular technique we use? Of course we all do. Okay, some people are working, social media. Some people are doing trade shows, swap meets, face-to-face meetings, what have you, in-home presentations. There's a good example. I heard one person say, if you want to be successful, then you have to set up your business launch with a home meeting within your first week. Now, is that a good thing to do? Sure it is. Is that something that's duplicatable by the masses? Absolutely not. What do you do with the person who maybe has a modest home, doesn't feel comfortable inviting their friends over? What do you do with the person that is new to the area and none of their friends are within, 100 miles or 1,000 miles where they live? They can't have a home meeting. So what does that mean? By definition, what you told them is if they're serious and they want to be successful, they got to set up a home meeting. Are home meetings good? Sure they are. Are they duplicatable by the masses? Not everybody can do a home meeting. Now, what's the concept? Concept of a home meeting, very simply, is launch your business quickly. Talk to a lot of people right away. Build a story. One of the techniques for doing that is to have a in-home presentation, a home party, if you will. So don't focus so much on the techniques. Focus on the concepts. Everybody uses techniques that are unique to them. I do, everybody else does. But if you want to build a large organization, don't focus on techniques. Focus on concepts. And everything I'm sharing with you so far this morning is designed to do one single thing: to build a large consumer base that has leverage in it, meaning it's not just you. Everybody knows a couple of people that will buy this product from them. Everybody. Everybody knows a couple of people that can do our kind of business. And if we can take our brand new person and teach them how to get 2 customers, and then help them get 2 distributors, and then turn around and help those 2 new distributors learn how to get 2 customers and 2 distributors, and then turn around and take those 4 people and teach them how to do the same thing, and then take those 8 and teach them how to do the same thing. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 30. 30 distributors, people that are consuming the product, people that are sharing the product. And while those numbers are relatively small, the magic takes place when each one of those people can turn around and teach 2 others and teach them to teach 2 others. And what I'm sharing with you folks has been the foundation of each of the 3 multi-level ventures that I've been involved in, with ZJ International eclipsing the income of my previous 2 network marketing companies because of the track record, success, and integrity of the owner of the company, Ken Brailsford, because of the phenomenal products that we're bringing to the marketplace. And today, and this is a message to all of you that I'm looking here that have attended, and just for question, because I had somebody ask, I can't see you, I just see your name. Okay, I had a brand new person like trying to put the phone over this way and still see what was going on Thursday night, because they thought I could see them. I can't see you, I just know the names that are there. But here's the point I'm making. This is especially directed to each of you that I don't recognize your name, which means you're a brand new person, relatively new to ZJ. In the 9 years that I've been with this company, everything I said 9 years ago that would happen with ZJ has been happening. We have dramatically expanded our product offerings to where we now have something for every single person. We've enhanced our compensation plan to where we now have a compensation plan different than when I started, that can create true significant income earnings out of the gate for a brand new person. We've expanded our infrastructure where today we can do something that no company at any time in the almost 70 years of this history has ever had. We have a company that owns the infrastructure, 100% vertically integrated, that can create over $1 billion a year in sales of our products today. Today we could do that. We don't have to ramp up. We don't have to gear up. We've got the finest scientific minds working on our products, yet we're just a small percentage of our existing capacity for sales. And now's the time that we developed the distributor base. Everything I dreamed that Zija could be the day I started with this company has come to fruition. My only challenge, quite frankly, is I wish that I was starting today. I wish the environment I had personally, time, freedom, and so on, of 9 years ago is what I had today. So, because I cannot personally engage with Zija at the level that I did 9 years ago, my focus is to engage with those of you that are brand new to the business, to share with you what I've learned, to make sure that you are empowered to take advantage of what's going to happen with Zija over the next 24, 36 months. Some of you know my story. I committed 36 months to building my Zija business the day I started. 36 months. And in those 36 months, I created an income that put me in the top 1% of income earners in the country, did it part-time from home, built a business that today continues to provide a residual income that blows away all but 1% of the income earners in this country. For those of you starting with Zija today, your potential is many times greater, but if you give it 36 months, I can guarantee you this will be the greatest thing you've ever done for yourself, your family, your children, your grandchildren. I am more excited today about Zija's income opportunity than I've ever been, and I'm looking at a couple of the people here that have been with us online. I see Pat Anderson, I see Amy McKenzie. You folks know what's about to happen. You've been there, and this is what we've been waiting for. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and shut down the broadcast right now. For those of you that are part of the team, I'm going to be doing a short recap, first Saturday of the period broadcast here in about 10 minutes. It'll be on this same broadcast webinar ID, although you'll have to re-log in because I'm going to shut off this one, start the next one. So I'll see you all in about 8 minutes. And just in case we got any questions here, yes. Daryl, good to see you, buddy. Good morning. Okay, great. All right. Thank you so much for the kind comments, folks. We'll be seeing you here in just another few minutes. Great to have you with us. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.